This video is for you. We're going to work with Lightroom today. Before we open up Lightroom, I want to show you exactly what I did for organizing the photos so that you kind of have an idea what my workflow is. Right here is your folder. There's your name. These are the images that I already put onto my external hard drive, my passport, when we were sitting in Starbucks. From there, I made several folders. You were with me when I made the catalog folder, which we opened up in Lightroom. And I made a raw images folder and took all the images and put them in raw, but when I went to Lightroom they all disappeared because you cannot change the location of the pictures. So wherever they are, keep them there. Very important. Otherwise Lightroom will say, here's what the image looked like, but it's not really here. Then I have two folders here, one that says print images and the other that says watermark images, WM images. And I'm going to tell you the importance of the two. Sometimes you're going to have, all the time, every time, you're going to have clients who are going to want their photos for purposes of sharing on Facebook or other social media sites. When that happens, you do not want a full resolution image and you want to watermark it for many reasons. It's harder to steal if it's watermarked, but it's also easier to find you in the end process if it's watermarked. If we have an image that we want to print, the best way to print it is via full resolution. And full resolution is not good for Facebook. So the print ones, there will be no watermark. It'll be full resolution, perfect for printing. For Facebook, we're going to do a watermark image, perfect for sharing on Facebook and other social media. So let's get going. Lightroom. We're here. We did this image. Remember, we have the before, we have the after. We like it. It's different. It's going to show possibly more of your style and less of the style that the camera had put in place for you. Next step from there is to export it. We're going to go to File, and we're going to hit Export. And this window is going to open up. Now this window has lots and lots of confusing information. We're going to export it to a specific folder. We are going to start off with the full resolution for print file. So you go to Choose, and you go and you look for that file you already created. Workflow is a big deal. Print images. Open, hit Choose. Whatever you do from here, it's going to go to that folder. Then the rest, put in subfolder, don't do, that'll create a secondary folder. Add to catalog, don't do, you do not need a duplicate in the catalog. Existing file, ask what to do, so whatever. If anything's different, it's good to have ask what to do. Rename to, do you want it as a file name? Or do you want to name it as the date? Do you want to name it as anything different? Custom name. Let's do custom name for you. My last custom name was Jackie. We're going to do ALETHA. I start with number 1. Lowercase, all that does not matter, but this image will start as Aletha-number 1. Or 1 of 1 is what this says. XYZ, that's not exactly what I want. This one, sorry. Custom name sequence, Aletha, start number 1. This one is going to be called Aletha-1. Now, if you save one at a time, you're going to have to change the start number, second one to 2. But if you change all of them at the same time, that will put, the first one is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So if that is a problem, then just do file name and rename it later with their name. That's up to you completely. Extension lowercase, no big deal. Video, I don't do anything for. File settings. Now, we're going to set for print. For print, quality is always 100%. And we are going to make sure that our resolution, image size resolution for print, 360. That is divisible by the times 4 that the print manufacturers use for printing. And that's 360 pixels per inch. DPI is what it's called. Output sharpening. I click sharpen for glossy paper. The average individual prints on glossy. Most do not print on matte. Metadata. Don't worry about it. Keep it the way it is. Include all metadata, meaning that the information stays intact. This says it was your camera. Now, the one thing we didn't go over when we met at Starbucks is how to make sure that your name was attached to these images. We'll do another video later for that if you want. Your name is important. These are your images, not your clients. Take off watermark. This is, again, for print. We're putting it in the for print images folder. We are renaming it. We're going to do file name, make it easy on you. Quality 100%, resolution 360. Think of full circle, 360 degrees. Sharpen for glossy, no watermark. Post-processing, alter effects, nothing. Then we're going to hit export. By hitting export, you can see your bar here is going to tell you your progress. Currently, my computer, task complete, is talking to the external drive. Perfect. If we were to close this window and go to print images, bada bing, bada boom, it's there and it's full resolution. You could change the name of it later if you desire. There are programs to make that easier if you're on Creative Cloud, and you are. That file is called Bridge, Adobe Bridge, which is brilliant, but a whole different lesson. Let's go back to Lightroom. Now we are going to resave the image with a light watermark. You go to Export. Specific folder, you're changing the folder. You're choosing the watermark folder now. Again, find it and WM images, double click, hit choose. Now this image will now resave. It will be the second saving of the very same image, but in the watermark folder. Keep the rename the same as you did for the other folder. Quality, you want it about, I personally do 50%-ish. A little under, a little over, it's fine, especially if you shoot raw. Do not sharpen. We're not printing this. This is not for print. And if someone does print it, you don't want them to have the best print. Resolution, I automatically do 200. A lot of images you see online will actually be 72 DPI, but that's a little too grainy for me. I want them to be able to see a good copy on the internet. Metadata, same as before. Watermark, you're going to hit watermark. Now, the gray BR is my gray bottom right watermark. If you go to edit, it will show you what that is, and that's my personal watermark, two of us photo in the bottom corner. For you, you're just going to want to do a basic watermark, simple copyright watermark, or you could come up with a watermark, import it into Lightroom, and you can make it happen that way. This is the basic watermark. It says copyright Gail Edwards. For you, it'd be copyright Aletha. And then that is good enough until you can figure out something different. You can move it. You can move it to the middle, which is obtrusive. I don't like putting it on people. Bottom right, you can go ahead and take it and make it bigger, size proportion. Yep, see, there you go. Opacity, you can make it lighter, you can make it go away, you can make it extremely dark. I like them watermarked, but I don't like it to be obtrusive and obscene. From here, you can make all sorts of different selections, including color. You can change your font, you can change your style of font, fit and fill, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't see that being absolutely necessary, but again, you could change the sizes. Whatnot, to whatever fits your personal goals, hopes, dreams, and desires. Again, you can put it anywhere. Use that box to use your 9 grid. Not too difficult at all. You can rotate it. Hit save. We're going to call it ALETHA, Aletha, bottom right. And that way I know that this one is for you on the bottom right. After export, do nothing. Hit export. Make sure it's in the right place. Watermark images. Export. Bada bing, bada boom. Easy as that. Here's our taskbar to tell us our progress. It's still working. Done. We go down here. We go back to our passport because that's where it is on mine. Double click. Go to watermark. Open that up. It's a half resolution file. It's watermarked. And it's just as pretty as before. It's not obtrusive, but it's saying who it belongs to. As simple as that. You do not have to do a watermark version. That is me personally. I will not share anything full resolution, not watermarked online. I value my work. If you have a client who wants to share your work, let them know exactly who you are. Here's a great example of one of my watermarked images. Very simple. On the bottom, not on the baby at all, because you don't want to be obtrusive to the actual image. Yes, someone can crop that. Yes, someone can remove that. But they have to put effort into it. That's up to them. Okay, and that's it. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me, but I think I was pretty thorough, and we're all good. All right, bye.